All right, everybody, welcome back to a late night and impromptu session of our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign entitled The Long Rest. The most recent session was so packed with goodness and twists and turns and a cliffhanger that at midnight Eastern Time we are feeling compelled to finish this tale. I'm going to let the player characters themselves kind of fill you in on what happened as tonight's plot progresses. Myself, Bo, am here mostly as a facilitator. And this is what we like at Blades and Blasters. We like player-driven games. And in my opinion, this is the epitome of that. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Orlane. All right, everybody should be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Hey.
And I'll let you guys set the scene as the camera pans away from the town of Orlane, smoke rising from it in various places. Orlane is seated at the intersection of two rivers, and we pan eastwards across a rolling plain that eventually becomes flat and filled with boiling waves of golden grain as two figures ride down a road on a horse.
As they're riding down the road on the back of Teric's horse, Bojack, Heidi clinging on almost for dear life around Teric's waist, as they probably have not slowed down since leaving Orlane. She had since lost her hat, but that really didn't mind too much, as her own mind was focused on the task now at hand. And as they pull up to the portal, Bojack whinnying, Heidi slides off the back and looks up to the portal with a frown slightly on her face as she glances back to Teric.
Are you apprehensive?
Not apprehensive, Teric. I'm mad. Fucking angry. I'm just trying to temper my emotions so I don't seem this way when I step through. So there's at least slight catching him off guard.
We've made good timing. Thanks to Bojack here. And Teric is going to step off and dismiss his steed. After patting him for a good job. You can take a moment. As long as you need.
And Heidi, she takes a few deep breaths, her face relaxing from the anger that had plagued it before. She takes a look back at Teric. I think I'm alright. I don't know how the rest of the town is going to handle this, but I'm sure we can do damage control afterwards.
Whatever may follow, we will deal with it. And he cannot get away with this injustice.
No, they can't. She looks back to Teric, so which part of the plan you want to follow? Killing him outright, or knocking him down and explaining what happened?
If you are certain your magics can keep him at bay, and there's no chance of him slithering away like the snake that he is, then we will go with your way.
Problem is, I'm not sure, Teric. I don't know the extent of Jaxis' powers. Don't know if it's but an utter of a word and he can do what he does, or if he requires more, I guess, fanciful flourishes with his hands. But if we get him down, at least stabilize him, but have him knocked out, I think that'll maybe be better. in terms, but if you can't, it happens that your blade slips too far. I won't be so bothered, I think.
We'll play it by ear.
Hey, you ready?
Always.
Before stepping through the portal, Heidi walks up to Teric, placing a hand on his pauldron and casts invisibility.
Sweet. All right. Allow me to change the scene briefly here. And at any time, tell me if you cannot see, okay?
Right.
The scene changes and the scene fades out and it opens up near the hamlet. It is late fall and many of the trees have nearly lost half of their leaves. Leaves that are golden, brown, and red litter the ground as just outside the hamlet, just outside the borders, you can see the keep kind of looming in the distance. There is a single shimmering gold and black portal seemingly floating in the ether. And I'll let Jaxis and Belabros take it away.
Yeah, Jaxis stands before a rather small host of probably a good 10 to 12 of the better soldiers in the militia, as well as a pair of archers and perhaps a healer, aside from Belabros and the others. He addresses them. He, up until this point, has been spreading the tale of how Teric von Eyre is dead, Heidi missing, but they need to quite swiftly return, find Heidi, strike down the man that killed Teric, as well as the others that opposed us there, and see this righted. He stands before the crowd addressing them. This will not be easy, but we do have the benefit of surprise, hopefully. The enemy were wounded. If we can get in there quickly, find Heidi, get her out safely, we can make our moves afterwards. Stay close to myself and Belabros. Keep an eye open for any foes that might lurk in the shadows. And if you see some wicked thing with a face of tentacles, get a safe distance. Now, we have a mare to save. Let us go, then. Of course, the stories up till this point that he has told involve nothing of his secretive murder, of his driving Bannon towards killing Teric rather than pursuing him, or the subject of the acid very vaguely breached, but not thoroughly explained. And with the small troop prepared, Melik getting ready to go up ahead and scout into the portal, try and locate her, they prepare to enter.
You ain't gonna be running away this time, are you, Jaxis?
I don't exactly plan on it, now that I have proper support.
Very well, lead the way then.
I need to get this done quickly. I don't know what the hell Heidi could have gotten up to, but it just doesn't make sense. Something is wrong here. Jax's face grows with legitimate concern, but it is quite overshadowed by his sheer exhaustion. Since the events that left Teric dead and Heidi missing, Jaxis unable to find Heidi at their meeting place back at the portal. He, of course, came back for aid, but he has not had a chance to rest properly. Small, short rests, enough to recover his magics and ready himself, is one thing, but proper sleep has evaded him thus far, leaving him quite exhausted. As he takes a step forward towards the portal, Melik and Balaberos there. The others preparing in the village to make sure that if a second squad needs to be sent, it will be.
All right, Heidi and Teric.
It is about this time, as Jaxis is making his way to the portal, the rest of the troops ready, that it appears as though only Heidi steps through the portal. Her clothes have been mended, her hat missing. She stands there with a very hard look on her face. But as soon as she looks over and she sees Balaberos, her face softens. She quickly hurries over to him, wrapping arms around him. I'm so sorry. I'm back. I'm okay.
Oh, thank God, love. I'm so glad to see you, all right?
Jaxis stands kind of mouth agape. You're back! Where the hell have you been? We were about to send out a scouting party for you.
And as Heidi is embraced Balaberos, kind of pulling him in close, she leans in towards him very low, so no one else can hear. She whispers in his ear, Jaxis killed Teric. She releases her grip and looks to Jaxis. I took the rod of security with me. I've had it for a few of our adventures. I became injured, but I used that and took some time to rest myself up.
Jaxis visibly relaxes. Well, I'll be damned. I thought something might have happened to you. Finally. This is all done with. Were you able to retrieve Teric?
Heidi, she rubs the back of her neck slightly, looking a bit downtrodden. No, I remember seeing Bannon take his spear and shoving it into Teric. Afterwards, I watched in horror as he did the same to their Orlane's mayor.
He killed the mayor as well.
He stood there and watched. I saw it happen. But,
Well, we have the force gathered. I think with this many we can easily take the place, eliminate Bannon, give proper burials where burials are due.
And we have to take out those responsible for Teric's death. And Heidi reaches out and Jaxis, I want you to make me a will, or yeah, is it a will save? Wisdom save.
Coolio. Let's see. Wisdom, you said?
Yeah, roll up the sheet. I think the other one's broken.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
You need to hit a
selected it. Wrong button.
16.
11. No, do not hit 16.
Hold person. As Heidi kind of reaches out a hand, with a quick hum, Jaxis, you feel her magics kind of almost engulf you, as it feels like almost a hand has gripped you and is squeezing, holding you tightly and still.
Jax's face is racked in confusion. The hell are you doing?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, and those who are watching, it wasn't just Bannon who killed Teric, but also Jaxis. But thankfully, she looks around a little bit, waiting.
hold person would break invisibility. They're both concentration. So
Oh,
it's
well.
true.
cast
yeah.
that, I would just appear.
I guess as probably cinematically wise, as she kind of grips onto Jaxis and says that. Go ahead, Teric.
Right. So as Heidi lets out her spell and the look of shock appears on Jax's face, from near the portal, very close by, with hammer ready and shield at the ready, armor scarred, is none other than Teric von Eyre. If you want to put the token there, it'd be neato.
He's looking pretty good for a dead man.
Yeah, Teric looks... sorry, Teric. Jaxis looks actually confused. Teric? But how? I saw Bannon kill you himself.
Is that what you saw, Jaxis?
Yes, Heidi just said as much. He looks to Heidi then. The hell is going on? How does he live?
Well, lucky for me, I studied a few books and such in secret. She glances back to Barrows. This was mostly for you, sweetheart, but in case anyone had fallen in battle, I had ways of bringing them back. Which I did.
I'm just glad to see you all right, love, and Teric as well.
Hey, me too. Me too. Heidi, she blinks back some tears and looks very angrily towards Jaxis. And you bastard, using your acidic spray. Has Teric just fallen onto the ground?
Jaxis looks utterly baffled. That? You decided to do this over some acid getting on his armor?
Oh no, it's not just because of the acid. Jaxis, I saw the look in your eye. I knew you did that. I saw that satisfaction you had. I saw you kill Sir Percival in cold blood and the smile that came upon your face after you did. Sir Percival being a knight of Mara, one we were helping to take back the town.
You mean the one that charged at me to kill me?
Because you attacked Teric.
I did no such thing, Heidi.
You
I attacked the enemies that surrounded him.
and him as well.
And he was as good as dead. He did
And here I
die.
stand, Jaxis.
Yes, indeed. Seems you can come back from just about anything, can't you?
You used your magics to also attack a helpless mayor of that city and the priestess, engulfing them in your darkness.
I did no such
You
thing.
think I'm blind?
The priestess was hit with collateral, but she wasn't even harmed.
By
And fool
you.
Bannon knocked her clean away from the damage.
By you, Jaxis.
Are you mad?
No.
Surely that thing hasn't gotten into your head, has it?
Oh, I'm thinking clearly, Jaxis. I know what you've been thinking of and planning. We've had lots of conversations before. I considered you a friend until you tried to take the opportunity to take down Teric.
And I still consider you a dear friend, Heidi, but this is ridiculous. We were in the middle of combat. The only enemies left remaining would come for you, myself, or that damnable knight. And instead of act against the enemies that pressed us, he came for me, because I hit Teric alongside the enemies after he was as good as dead anyway. I did not go
He
out of my
wasn't-
way to kill him.
He was not as good as dead, Jaxis. He just went down. I was so close. I could have brought him back. That's what I was planning on doing. It was just healing him, and then bringing back the priestess.
And how exactly would you have done that after Bannon? Well, seems you have, actually. So
Aye.
nonetheless, that defeats the point of this argument. Teric is
No.
alive and well.
Your words will not be able to weasel yourself out of this.
There's nothing to weasel out of, Teric. You were hit with collateral damage when I thought you were as good as dead. Heidi saved you. It is that simple. She said herself, Bannon thrust his spear into you, killing you. I had nothing
I
to
was
do with
not
it.
killed. My heart yet beat.
And Jaxis looks to Heidi. And is that true? How exactly?
You took that opportunity. Teric had just fallen to the ground. I had used a spell to make the other one there beside Bannon run away in fear. And he was. Sure, I would face down Bannon, but I'm a lot tougher than you think. I could have brought Teric back up quite easily. But in that instant, when they stood there, you decided instead of whatever else you could do, you decided to take Teric and put him in the collateral damage, making it even harder for me to bring him up. And Jaxis, you don't... I saw what your face looked like after you did it. I saw that satisfaction that you had.
So you're saying that because you think I was satisfied, I'm a murderer? For killing someone that someone else killed?
And
Whom you have
killed
just
I was
explained
not
it.
Jaxis. You keep saying that as if it was foregone conclusion. The last thing I felt before I perished was your acidic breath burning into my skin.
Well, it
And you
seems you're
keep
quite
saying
the
he's
liar
good as
then.
dead. He wasn't dead.
He certainly seemed dead. Especially after Bannon thrust his spear into him. Heidi can attest, she just did. If we want to clear this up, bring Marv then. He has his circle. His zone of truth, as he calls it. And we'll clear things up quite swiftly, don't you think?
No, Jaxis.
No!
Because- Listen to me. Because you can believe one truth, but I know that you wanted Teric dead.
So you're saying based off of your opinion you're what? Going to execute me because you think I might have had ill will for Teric?
You also killed an innocent man.
Who attacked me,
Jaxis.
Heidi?
Your actions led to the death of myself, Sir Percival, the mayor, and the priestess. They were within our grasp. We could have saved them all.
You died, you fool!
Because of you!
Because
No
Bannon
other.
stuck a
You-
spear in your gullet. Is this or is this not true, Heidi?
You assisted in killing him, Jaxis.
So I'm not wrong.
I'm sorry. It's attempted murder. Just not that bad to you.
I did not attempt anything. Bring forth Marv, cast his spell, and let the people see the truth. Or do you intend to just execute anyone you think might have done wrong?
I don't think you did wrong, Jaxis. I know you do. And
So
this is
you'll
a
just-
council decision, I think.
To know the truth or not? Is that how it
No.
is now? Is that what these people can
You're
expect when
putting
something
words
happens in the
your
village?
mouth, Jaxis. Your sickly sweet words that you have, that you tried to dig your claws, and you have, into the town, into me, into many others here. But that ends now.
You're a
We'll-
lunatic.
We'll
I've done nothing wrong here.
We'll bring that zone of truth and ask you exactly why you killed Sir Percival.
It's
Why
quite
you aimed
simple.
for Teric.
Bring him forth then. I'm quite happy to have this out of the way so we can get back to the business of killing Bannon.
You could have killed Bannon while you were there, but you ran away like a
I
fucking coward.
Would have died, Heidi. Just like Teric did.
Alright, I'm gonna take this opportunity, non-lethally bash him over the head so we can take him to a proper place for interrogation, not next to a portal.
Oh, if Teric's about to attack me, I'm going to just cast Thunderstep because it's vocal
While
only.
held?
It's
we
vocal
gotta,
only.
yeah, we gotta do initiative too. If you guys are
Mhm.
going that route.
I mean, yeah, if it looks like he's about to raise his hand, I just say Thunderstep and I'm gone.
It goes on initiative order, so
Yeah,
you're
it's fine,
probably
it's
sure you'll
fine.
beat him, but
Oh my god, what?
Every time.
The only time! You rolled like an 18 last time, what the fuck?
I've rolled nothing but 2s. I've been the last act.
Really? Oh, I guess it was
Yeah.
Bannon that went first last time, wasn't it? And Heidi.
I've been the last act in the past, like, 5 combats.
Oh my god! Poor boy. Yeah, so I guess, I don't know if Balaberos is doing anything just yet.
He's got initiative. He can see me raising my hammer and can see you muttering shit while paralyzed.
he does have cat-like reflexes.
Yeah, was it Peter Natural?
Pedo natural speed.
Yeah, definitely. Do I see Jaxis
Yeah,
mumbling?
You guys are, well, you're first initiative, so yes, in character, yes, you would.
Yeah, Jaxis
Wow.
is just looking utterly confused and... I mean, he's genuinely confused in this situation. He doesn't know what the hell's happening. He looks like he's about to do something because Teric's raising a mace at him. So yes. He looks like he's getting ready to do something. But, I mean, he
I
can't
would-
move aside. You see him go to open his mouth, but, I mean...
I'd go up and punch him in the gut and cast Stunning Strike.
All right, I'm going to move you guys to the RP map of the Hamlet. If I can find it. We have to use it a long time. Let's see here. Hamlet strategic. The Hamlet. Here we go. Let me try. Oh, here we go. This might not be kind to your cell phone at all, Danish. If you remember how large the map is. Okay. I'm going to kind of situate people as I think they would be. Can you see it all, Danish, or no?
We're still on the same screen.
No, I know, but like, can you, are you on your phone just listening, or?
Yeah, I can see.
There you go. All right. Everybody see the situation then?
Yep.
All right. Do you want me to roll for you? You gonna do it?
I can do it.
I'm guessing
We'll
you'd be, like,
just-
right there.
Treat it as
Oh.
an unarmed strike.
Yeah, he's only got, like, I think, like, 13. Or 15, even. Wow. Higher than I thought.
I'm gonna take it that a 23 hits you.
Yeah.
Well, flanked and held, I think you got him, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
6 bludgeoning, then
It'd be hard
Stunning
not
Strike.
to.
So you need to... Oh god, where is
30.
it? DC is 13, and it is a Constitution saving throw.
Con save, you said?
Yeah.
I assume it's higher than 10.
Yeah, I said
Set
13.
13.
Sweet.
Alright, he's stunned.
Cool.
So yeah, I just walk up and I look at you steadily in the eyes and I say, not getting away from this, Jaxis. You ran away before. Time to face what we have to offer. And I just straight kneel down and punch him right in the gut, knock the wind out of him.
Yeah, Jaxis again looks at you, eyes bewildered. What are you? And then crumples as you punch him straight in the gut.
Incapacitated, can't move, and can speak only falteringly. So probably not enough to do a spell.
He's stunned. He failed it, so...
Yeah, I don't think you can do an action, because a spell counts as an
Until
action.
the next turn, you
Yeah.
just lose an
It
action.
may be vocal only, but it still takes an action to cast it.
You can make a wisdom save to get out of hold person, by the way.
Oh, okay, okay. I will presume that he does as much as that. Which...
You just got punched, dude. It's hard to think.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't think there shouldn't be any way to
Nope.
cast while stunned. I mean, it's just straight up you can't use actions.
Yep.
But yeah, Jaxis is again crumpled on the ground. You fucking idiots! What are you doing?
So what's around you? Do you have like some soldiers that were going to go through the portal?
Yeah, there was
kinda-
like 14 dudes there that Jaxis had gathered to go scout for Heidi, find her and get her back.
Yeah, they're all kind of looking onwards. As this happens, these are the leaders. The movers and shakers of the Hamlet seem to be having a family feud. Heidi and Ezra, you're up.
All right. Knowing that if they don't go quickly, something might happen, and just kind of wanting to prepare something. We're
You want
going...
to get him in quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna cast... I don't know if this is the best idea, but we're gonna do it. Can you make me a wisdom save again there?
Get to the button.
16.
15 this time.
Polymorph!
Ooh. What are you gonna turn me into?
A weasel.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Weasel.
So you have, basically the intelligence of a weasel for an hour.
Okay.
Including mental ability scores.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm now a weasel.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay. And then it's my turn, yes?
Your stun turn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
well,
your turn,
this
'cause
is
that was, that
this
was
is
my turn. So it's
concentration that
Teric's
drops
turn.
the other spell.
But it's Teric's turn.
Well,
So I
no,
go
it's
after you.
Jax's turn.
No, I go after you. You go before me.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Trying to find a weasel transparency here.
Yeah, it's not exactly one you use often, is it?
No. I mean, it could be like a rabbit. It could be
Polymorph is such a good
whatever.
spell. When did
Or
you
a
get level
snake.
4?
I got it last game when we hit level
Oh,
7.
sick.
Uh-huh.
As long as the excess damage doesn't reduce the creature's normal form to 0 hit points, it isn't knocked unconscious.
So you see
When if it goes
Heidi.
back, it just pops him back out of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
You see Heidi, she has her hand kind of reach out to Jaxis, almost like she's gripping towards him. And she shakes her hand out, and as she reaches into her pocket quickly, taking out a cocoon that she has in her little pocket, she hums a few notes, and all of a sudden, Jax is just surrounded by this kind of blue energy, and as it engulfs him in that 5-foot square, as it quickly dissipates, you see a small weasel stunned on the ground.
A very confused, stunned weasel. Yes. It's a weasel.
Heidi looks to Teric. Pick it up.
Yeah, I guess I'll make a grapple check?
I mean, he's paralyzed. Well, he's not
stunned
paralyzed.
in a
But he's
weasel.
stunned. I mean, I don't think you need to make a fucking check to pick up a stunned weasel.
No.
I
Stunned
mean,
weasel check. This isn't hard, master.
yeah, this is
Alright.
particularly
Ugh.
complex
A
stuff.
form more fitting for you.
He'd be.
How long will this last?
We have an hour to create something that can hold him.
And when he returns, will he have his wits?
Aye, he'll have his wits about him.
I love it.
But we need to talk about exactly what's happening. Commune to the people, tell them what happened, so they understand. without him interjecting.
Yeah, I'm curious, what are the guards here looking like right now over this?
What are Teric's guards thinking about Teric not being dead?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Heidi admitted the guy stabbed Teric to death.
But she said
As
you
well.
assisted in killing him. Like, she was going to
Yeah.
save him, then you sprayed him with
And
acid.
Jaxis was like, that was literally just collateral damage as I attacked the enemy. I'm curious what they think of the situation.
Your soldiers, Teric. What do they think?
Oh, thank God. Von Eyre is still alive. He pays us. He pays all of my bills. I don't know. Would anyone care about him? I've been telling them to spy on him for months or years. For a year.
Well, for a year. I mean, the most you would have gotten out of that was, well, he goes around helping people build houses, maintains the moat, and just helps around town all day every day. Except when he goes out on a mission. And aside from that, he manages his spy network. He literally just spends every day helping people. That's all he does. I've maintained this since episode 1 that he was in.
This is true. He really hasn't done anything until now. I think they are certainly glad to see Teric von Eyre alive.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's confused. I don't expect them to be like, what are you doing? I think they're going to be confused as fuck. Because that makes sense.
They're certainly confused when they see Heidi and Ezra turn you into a weasel.
I fucking bet.
They may step forward and stop you from outright slaying the weasel, but they wouldn't stop Teric from picking the weasel up.
Let us get him to his cell. We will wait to the end of his transformation.
All right, I'm gonna clear the initiative at this point.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we needed it,
honestly. This was not foreseen. This is not foreseen. All right.
I love polymorph so much.
I'm happy I have it.
We got people who can talk to animals.
Oh my god, you're right.
But he's got the intelligence of a weasel.
It's true. I could convey my confusion as to what the fuck is going on. And that's about it.
Why am I being grabbed? I'm hungry.
It's true. Very hungry.
I think Heidi will use this time.
Oh my god, I didn't know it. There is a weasel
Token.
There's an entry.
That line.
Oh my god. It's not as cute, is it?
It's true.
He's statted. Boom. It's not as cute, but what the heck?
It's got 1 HP.
Does it really?
Yeah,
Oh my god, it
yeah,
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And
yeah,
it is,
CR0.
Jaxis, you actually have control of it now.
Sweet.
You're a weasel. I'll remove the other one.
Weasel, 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 weasel.
I think as yeah, I was gonna say as Teric's kind of grabbing at the weasel, Heidi looks to Balabaros and Teric. If you'd like to bring him somewhere, I can address the town. I want to explain.
The weasel?
If you want to put Jaxis the weasel in his truest form, if you want to put him somewhere where he can't escape, or just keep a hold of him, if you'd like Teric, though he's slippery, I can tell everyone in the town exactly what's going on, because I'm sure, and she looks around to the group around them, all of you are very confused and concerned.
I know, I certainly am. You told me 5 minutes ago that Teric was dead.
I gather the townsfolk. I'll speak to them.
Okay.
And Heidi will work on gathering everyone in the town, from Arden to Marv to Mecco to Bozerg to Creek.
So that all starts to happen. The word goes out through the streets of the hamlet. You see people come out of their houses. You see the streets start to fill. The camera pans up and you see the new walls built from the keep. You see the palisade. It's probably still a wooden palisade at this point. Central keep might be made of cobblestone. And everybody starts to filter into what has become the hub of conversation for the Hamlet, and that is nothing other than Paquin's Rest, the inn that the mayor, Heidi Den Ezra, runs.
Perfect.
Does that sound okay for you guys?
Hey.
I agree. You're going to pose yourself in first to this music as you guys enter into the Hamlet. Let's see here. You good? Everybody can see?
Yep.
Hey.
All right, cool. And I'm going to throw a few other kind of PCs and NPCs in this scene for flavor.
You know, this Weasel does look more like Jaxis, though.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
does.
very appropriate.
It's a bit more snarly, a bit more mangy. Oh my.
Marv? Who else did you say?
Arden. I guess we can get Meko and Targus, Utrig,
Damn.
all
Malik would
Elwyn.
be watching through a window or some shit.
Get them all in here.
Everybody's here.
Hell yeah, everyone in the town.
Milligan Peppers.
We've got our barmaid too that serves Jaxis. Is totally
She
not a
died
slave lady.
too.
She's not technically a slave. She's just basically a slave because they'll kill her if she disobeys.
Off of his head!
Yeah, I know. Of all the people, I mean, like, you have the big fucking Minotaur who was nice to her, and I mean, Jaxis does treat her well. He's not got no reason not to.
Oh,
but,
nice slave treatment.
Well, exactly.
Couple
Otherwise,
death
they'll kill him.
threats.
He's too paranoid to treat anyone particularly bad, aside from Teric for some reason.
All right, that's the scene. Everybody's milling around in the tavern.
Heidi brings Teric forward as well. Beside her, she stands up on the bar table. She calls out to the group, the townsfolk that are in here. I'm sorry to take you all away from your day-to-day. I'm sorry to have caused such a scene at the entrance to the portal. As you can see, as Jaxis had been telling folk, Teric von Eiger had been deceased and died in the most recent battle, on a most recent outing. But fortunately, because of Mara's blessing, and because of my own magics, I was able to bring him back. Because I knew that there was so much more that he had to do. And she sighs. And she looks to try to remove her hat, but it's already gone. She just runs her hands through her hair. Now, this outing wasn't like our others. Though we always face danger and the risk of death. It's how it always is. It's always heartbreaking once we experience it. But something we never expect is for one of our own to turn on us. And she gestures to the weasel that Teric now has. This here, for a brief time right now, is Jaxis, our Dragonborn compatriot. You know him as, well, someone who does help around the town. Someone who is the spy master of the city, and also the other half of the owner to this bar, and someone that I previously considered a friend.
Cooper yells out, "What do you mean, Heidi and Ezra? I ain't had near enough points to believe that furry yet lovable creature be Jaxis. Jaxis is all full of scales and teeth, and that ain't he, if you ask me."
Oh,
Yeah, are you being... What's going on? Says Elwyn.
Ellen. Heidi waves over to him with a smile. Anyway. This might not look like Jaxis, but I have my own magics, from being able to raise the dead to turning a scaly bastard into a weasel. Though in an hour he'll be back to his normal self and, well, if you'd like you can witness. But my point being, in our last battle that we had, it was hard. We were against a man who's planning on taking out the mayor of the town we went to. He killed the priestess that was there, the priestess of Mara. And Jaxis, though he was on our side for the most part through the whole battle, there was one instance when Teric, he was stabbed in the side to the abdomen and he went down. I was close to being able to help him and heal him, to get him back up to fighting for him as I usually do. But Jaxis took this opportunity. As all of you know, the two, Teric and Jaxis, have not had the best relationship, and it's very obvious to anyone who can see the snide remarks that he makes. But he used his own natural abilities of spraying acid from his gullet, spraying it all over Teric. Also hit the ones we were after, but he says he assumed Teric was good as dead. It hadn't even been 6 seconds since he hit the ground. I saw
Not only did his actions lead to my death, but he was responsible for the death of my compatriots. One, Sir Percival, the mayor of Orlane, and the high priestess of a temple of Mara.
We witnessed him use his spells of darkness to engulf where the mayor was. Though it might not have hurt or hit them, it was still actively attacking them. In addition to this, when Teric went down, when Bannon decided he was about to heal Teric, but he saw that acid eating into his armor while he was down, and Bannon took the last stab at him. I used my magics to turn invisible. I knew what I had to do with Teric. I didn't think Jaxis would turn on Sir Percival, a knight, a fighter of Mara, who we were helping take back the city to help the mayor. Turned on him and killed him in cold blood with a smile on his face. And then he just ran away. He didn't even wait to see if I was okay. He just left. That's not important. What is important is that he assisted in killing Teric and killed another innocent man and led to the death of 2 others. And we can't stand for this, you see. Not in Hamlet. She looks out to see if anybody says anything or if anyone has anything to bring up.
Bularbro stands up. He looks around. I don't know much about the goings-on on what happened on the other side of the gate, but I do know that when Jaxis came back, when I asked him how long he waited for his allies, he couldn't answer me. He wouldn't answer me. And he just left them behind. That's what I know on this side. I don't know on what happened over there. I can't attest to that, but I trust Teric, who's been a good and just man. I trust Mayor Dinezra, who hasn't done us wrong yet.
There's a bit of conversation in the crowd as most folks are taken aback by the accusations. Eventually, Bozerg steps forward and says, "All this is well and good. And Teric von Eiger, you and I have fought side by side many times. Palerbros, you and me as well. Nearly died once in that graveyard, if I recall. But Heidi Den Ezra, how do you expect us to believe you when you only have a furry critter here? Let the man defend himself against these accusations. If the gods and goddesses of the Hamlet are true at all, then justice will prevail. But I would be amiss if I would throw my weight behind the execution or some other harsh punishment when a man did not get a chance to tell his own tale."
Heidi sighs, says, "I understand. Though, Bozerg, you do know me, considering I've been your mayor for almost a year now. I haven't done the Hamlet wrong so far. My decisions and the decisions of the council have led to the growth of the city itself. But I am not though I am the mayor, I leave the side of the law up to the one who does possess the control of it, which is Teric von Eiger."
Montague de Leon steps up on one of the benches and says, "Heidi Den Ezra, you're a woman of sweet words, no? And I would be drawn to believe you if it was only up to me, listening to your voice that seems lined with silver. But Bozerg the Scout has a point. Let the man defend himself, Heidi Den Ezra. You call upon your qualifications as mayor? Indeed, your decision-making capacity in the matters of business seems sound. But was it not you who also decided to co-own a tavern with this man? To keep him close, even though now it seems he has become a weasel."
Aye, it's true. I did decide to co-own the tavern with Jaxis. And if the town decides and someone else steps up, I'd be happy to step down as mayor, as I see that my own judgment on Jaxis is clouded. But she looks to Teric, sidling over to him, and she leans down. "What do you think?"
If the people wish to hear his voice, then I will allow it.
Heidi sits back up and looks at the town. "We'll allow Jaxis to defend himself, but remember what I said. Remember what Teric said. And don't let his own honeyed words affect you either." She takes a step back, makes some hand motions, and you see that blue light engulf the Weasel, and it only takes a few seconds as all of a sudden Jaxis is now formed out of the Weasel, and he stands there. Heidi looks at him and says, "You talk. If you make moves to run, well, we know you're guilty."
Yeah, Jaxis coughs and hacks as the transformation undoes itself. A little bit of spittle of acid and fur matting onto the bar. Was that at all necessary?
Oh, aye, it was. Because, well, I feel like a weasel is what you truly are.
Such a change of interest so suddenly. Are you sure that didn't get into your mind?
You sure it didn't get into yours, Jaxis?
I certainly hope not. Scowls towards Heidi and turns and kind of takes in the room, figures out his situation again. Well, she turns back to him. What has been covered?
Everything that I saw, witnessed. Why don't you explain your reasonings for everything you did, Jaxis?
Yes, and what exactly was it that you seem to have witnessed? As
Well, why
we
don't
talked,
you-
it didn't seem quite incensed.
Well, why don't you first explain your side of the story?
The entire situation, as it were, fine. As usual, we went to scout, to see the situation, to assess Orlane, and we did so with the help of that knight. What was his name? Percival.
The
yes.
one you murdered, Sir Percival of Orlane.
Yes. I certainly did kill him, as he charged at me instead of the enemy. Fool. It was a waste of life. Indeed, I don't disagree with it. I struck him merely once, and he fell. He was quite wounded after the fight, after all. It's not as though I don't regret it. It was unfortunate. As I said, a waste. And as for you, Teric... well, as I can see, you are quite alive and well. That is good, at least. Jaxis looks to the crowd. I think no one here questions that I have no particular love for Teric. But this seems quite mad, don't you think? We went into this situation, and it became instantly dangerous as Heidi and Teric pressed the enemy amidst a crowd of innocent civilians during an execution. Cannot be entirely blamed for that. But nonetheless, as Teric charged forward and they started attacking us, yes, I cast a veil of magic. Yes, it did hit the priest, but she was uninjured. Was she not, Heidi?
Didn't you also hit the mayor as well?
I did not. And legit, out of character, he didn't actually. He specifically avoided the mirror.
Heidi was cocks an eyebrow. Alright, well, attempted murder but no injury. Okay, continue.
If I wanted to kill the priestess, you'd think I would have used that spell. No, there is a group of enemies facing us. Yes, that's unfortunate the priestess was caught in the area. But I would much rather not have the enemies charge straight towards you. Bannon himself knocked the priestess out of the area, saving her, only for him to stab her in the gullet rather than charge the enemy himself. The man is a lunatic, to say the absolute least, and he needs to be taken care of. I think we can all agree on that. As for afterwards, well, everyone here saw my injuries when I returned. Their archer gave me no quarter. Teric either. Several shots in the back, eh? Nothing I could do about that either. They had several brutes of sorts. Looked quite well trained. Tough as nails, honestly. Both of them, well, one of them chased us around nonsensically, but nonetheless, both of them ended up attacking Teric. One of them died, and then it was left with Teric, that creature we fought. Myself, Heidi, the knight, quite wounded from his battle with one off to the side, and Bannon. Of course, To avoid the archer's gaze, I used my last suitable spell, to escape over closer to Teric, expecting to help him only for him to fall. Now, of course, yes, he is down. But Teric is the most legendary individual in this place. If anyone can survive a simple breath of acid, it would be him. Yes, I did harm Teric. If I wanted to kill him, I would have done far more than acid breath, though. And as was said, Heidi could have gotten to him. Yes, I accept the blame for that. I hit him with the acid. But I did not kill him. Hell, the acid wouldn't have even killed him alone. Not if Heidi had gotten to him in time. But, as both myself and Heidi stated, Bannon thrust his spear into Teric on the ground. Her spell forced the other one to flee. I headed towards her, and the fool knight charged me. So of course, I defended myself, yes. The knight died. Again, quite a waste. There's no purpose in death. He died in vain, for something that did not need to occur. Instead, he could have charged the enemy and we could have forced our way back to Teric. But instead, he attacked me. And yes...
Your justification for spraying acid on me is that I could take it.
You were surrounded by enemies, one of which proceeded to try and kill you. It stands to attest that most foes would attack the remaining enemy rather than the one on the ground. But nonetheless, he killed you, didn't he?
We weren't surrounded by enemies, Jaxis. Not exactly. I think you're making it a bit bigger than it is. You see, Bannon was on one side. The gladiator that was running away was on the other. If you had, I don't know, used anything else, you have a dagger, you have... you should be carrying some sort of crossbow. You could have attacked just him.
I am quite injured at this point, keep in mind. And these two have just struck down the most powerful man I have ever met. Do you think I was eager to charge into my death?
Ah, but you were eager to assure mine.
I could care less, honestly. In the long term, would it be healthy for the Hamlet if you were to perish? Perhaps. But it is certainly not worthy of excess intervention. I think there is one simple thing that will clear this situation. We have magics to determine the truth. Cast them. The people will see that I speak nothing but.
And that's, like I said, outside in front of the rest of the people out there by the gate. You can believe one truth, and for you, it is true. Aye, Jackson.
So you're saying that a truth-detecting spell is useless, then?
No. I'm not saying it's useless. I'm saying someone who believes the truth and what it is, well, it will be their truth, and it will show up as truth, aye. But...
So you're saying that if I speak the truth, it doesn't matter, then?
I'm saying you believe what you believe, Jaxis. We can do the circle, but the circle is not going to be the utmost form of proof.
Well, seeing as you can collaborate everything I say, we will see. Go ahead and cast your spell. He looks over to Marv. Show the people the truth.
Arden's came in a little while ago, and he's been standing against the wall quietly and listening. He missed most of what Heidi and Teric had to say, but he's been listening to Jaxis, and he clears his throat and asks a question. Jaxis, you said that there was only one foe, or Heidi said there was only one foe there who was not running away, and you chose to breathe acid. It's very rare I've seen you breathe. Normally you have the same spell you use over and over again, your favorite. That's the Eldritch Blast, the signature spell of a Warlock that you use to deal death and great destruction to your enemies. That is a spell that affects one enemy. Well, I have seen you affect more than one. You could have targeted this enemy and done him such a great injury with it.
I suppose you are not wrong. It is quite reliable against a single target in particular. And of
Or
course,
two.
if my target were to fall, then perhaps I could redirect another bolt. But I was faced with a situation where I saw two enemies that had just struck down Teric. Yes, he was in the way. Yes, he was hit by it. But it was an opportunity to strike both with an attack they could not evade.
But you saw that I used a spell of fear, and that one was about to flee.
Yes, I saw you cast your spell. I saw it seem to take hold on him. You expect me to understand that, yes, he will be running quite soon after this. I see you cast a spell. That is it.
Pretty sure you've seen me cast it before, since we're such close friends, Jaxis.
He's genuinely not out of character. No.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know. Yes, well, I cannot particularly say I've seen you use that before, although it's a welcome addition. Like a useful spell, to be honest. But no, there was also an archer upon a roof, the one that had struck myself and Teric multiple times. But yes, I took the opportunity. I knew Teric would be harmed. Did I think he would die from my acid? By no means. If I did, then would I have used the acid? No. As simple as that.
Mayor Heidi, may I ask you something?
Of course, Arden. She departs from the bar table, moving over to Arden. What's in it?
He's looking quite perturbed by this whole thing, but his face is grim. He says, I would like to know one thing. When this happened, when Jaxis did this terrible thing, when he realized that Teric was dying or dead, what did you see in his eyes?
I saw almost a twinkle in his eyes, like he was happy he did it.
I see. So in the midst of battle, as we continued to fight, about the time you went invisible and Teric was struck by my acid, you saw a twinkle in my eye, and that means I tried to kill him.
Heidi looks back to Jaxis. Jaxis, you know I considered you a friend, and you using, like Arden says, you could have used your magic against Bannon. You could have done so much more, but instead you decide to get Teric.
I did not decide to kill Teric.
Well, you decided to use that, didn't you?
I did indeed. Because it was the most suitable use for the situation, and I had little to use aside. As Arden said, Eldritch Blast is reliable, but quite easily evadable. The acid is not. With two injured enemies, and I was hoping to finish them off.
Yeah, why don't we get Marv's circle up by you?
Yes, and around yourself as well.
Hey.
Now, I ain't meaning to normally do this. If I use this magic, it sometimes reveals truths that we aren't quite prepared to admit, even to ourselves.
Hey, that's fine.
All right. Very well. Listen here, denizens of the Hamlet. I used to be your mayor, and as the heat in the kitchen was a little bit too much for me, if that is a manner of speaking. And Heidi, I've always known you to be an upstanding woman, if a little bit lax in some of your morals. And Jaxis, you've been wise in many ways, although I've always had my doubts about your deeper ambitions. So hopefully Shantae's blessing will fall heavy upon this inn and the truth will be revealed. Now, come hither.
Yes. Blessings upon this inn, indeed. Jaxis almost seems to smile as he steps towards the spot where Marv prepares the circle as he looks up towards the large dragon skull inlaid with chains hanging it from the ceiling, watching as all of this occurs.
And Heidi looks over to Jaxis. Isn't it nice to have your patron looking down on you there, Jaxis? She points to the skull.
Jaxis looks at it almost softly. Indeed, it is calming, if nothing else.
Arden looks across to Heidi and speaks quietly for her ears only. I don't like Jaxis's expression. It doesn't seem like someone who expects to be vindicated. It looks like his scheming face. I don't wish to think him guilty, but something about his expression unnerves me.
It unnerves me too, Arden. And I'm, more saddened by what's happened than anything. And I'm sorry about what I might be saying soon.
I can't believe I heard him say just now that he thought the Hamlet would be better off with Teric dead.
Aye, he did say that.
I knew they weren't friends, but I never thought to hear him say that.
I feel like that's damning in itself, but we can continue.
So we cast Magic Circle first, which would keep both of you from leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And
Zone of Truth.
Zone of Truth. I'm trying to find it here.
I'm surprised Magic Circle isn't concentration.
It isn't, is it? Yeah.
No.
I guess it's
Good.
because it requires so much setup.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
Zone of
otherwise, you wouldn't be able to actually do anything with the creature you pin. Concern.
Oh, so you make a charisma saving throw?
Oh, that's to
I mean,
leave.
Jaxis isn't resisting it, obviously. The caster knows that if you resist it and if it fails.
Mhm. Okay, so you can just choose not
Yeah,
to.
so you-
Alright.
Presumably so, yeah. Otherwise, we
So-
just have to have him cast it over and over again.
Yeah. What happens is, like, circumscribed about Heidi and Jaxis. I think we probably narratively would adjust this circle so it just gets them. There's these runes that appear on the floor that glow with an inner golden light, and it kind of rises upwards, creating a cylinder around them. Then Marv again utters a few words of power, and a special orb, this time a deep magenta, kind of pulses over and domes over the two of them, this being the Zone of Truth. Enter now and speak the truth, both of you. We'll get to the bottom of this matter tonight. I have a early morning.
Yes, we all have work to be done. I would quite rather be killing Bannon right now.
Yeah. Be not too rash to speak, Jaxis. If this doesn't go your way, well,
I'm no
I'll
fool.
have little to say of it, but the interlopers in the Hamlet have not been dealt with in a kind manner in the past.
I'm no fool, Marv. I would not ask for this if it wasn't to clear my name properly.
Is that a lie?
It's not. He intends to use this to clear his name.
Properly?
I mean, is there
Yeah,
another way?
properly.
This will properly
yeah,
clear his
through
name.
underhanded means would be an improper way to clear your name.
I guess technically.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to
technicality, are you
decipher
lying?
every word, there's no hint of him trying to lie about whether this will help him or not. I mean,
All right, let's get to it.
well then, would you like to start or myself?
We can either start or have people ask us questions like, she looks to Jaxis. Did you intend to kill Teric with that blast, or at least slip him closer to death with your acidic breath?
I did not intend to kill him with the acid. Although I wouldn't have been surprised that it would slip him closer. There's no way the acid would have been able to kill him in Jax's mind. I mean, it's not.
But the
But he's
intention...
down. Yeah, the intention.
He's down, yeah.
Yeah, the intention to kill him by spraying acid on him.
Yeah, Jaxis says, pretty much as I said, I mean, I did not intend to kill him with the acid, no.
Did you want to kill Teric?
Well, that's an interesting question. I've wanted to kill Teric since the first time we argued.
Oh, gasps go out through the crowd.
What?
Arden looks shocked and disappointed.
Have you never argued with something and thought, oh my god, I wish they burnt in a fire? You'd be lying if you said otherwise.
Not particularly, no.
Targus kind of stamps his foot. I've been at the Hamlet since the beginning, and I've wanted to beat many a man to a pulp, but not yet to stop his breath.
Well, if I thought it would stop his breath, then no, I wouldn't have used the acid. And that is true.
Would you have been happy to have killed Teric with that?
With the acid? Not particularly. I could quite frankly care less.
Are you happy to see him die?
Happy to see him die? That's a complicated one.
No, it's not. Yes or no?
It really shouldn't be.
Some
Jaxis, it really
senses.
shouldn't be.
It's not, I suppose. Happy to see him die. After the things he's said and done, in a sense, yes. But generally speaking, no. He is still useful after all. But I was, not disappointed to see him go down, but neither was I overly pleased.
Cooper stands out. This vile creature that stands before you in the circle, whether he's overjoyed or merely blasé about seeing one of our brothers stricken down, he can no longer be counted among our number. If his blood is not spilt, my vote would be to at least cast him into exile.
You what? Wish to remove me?
I'd remove your head if it was up to me, but we here in the Hamlet have become more civilized since the spell over the forest has been lifted.
Yes, and I wonder, Cooper, tell me, who was at the core of this? Myself and Heidi, and Teric, for that matter. I won't discredit his presence there. I have dedicated everything I could to help this place. I have done everything in my power to better the Hamlet. I would gladly give my life any day to see the Hamlet prosper further.
Do you not hate humans, Jaxis?
And that was true. He did genuinely. That was all true what he said. Humans. I certainly think less of them. Hate is a strong word.
How much
They
less do you
are-
think of humans, Jaxis? How much less?
How much less?
Hey.
Than dragons?
Then
Seconds.
yourself.
Than myself. Yes. Humans are quite factually lesser. But that does not mean I kill wantonly, or I have their poor interest at heart. That's like asking, is a stable hand lesser than the person who rides the horse? It's different
So-
positions.
So you are both executioner and judge and counsel then, Jaxis. Oh, how would it be to have such power, says Montague de Leon, as he stands again upon the bench.
Yes, Yes, well, I have been here, and as I said, my only intent is to help the Hamlet.
Why,
Looks to me-
Jaxis? What are you... I've long had the feeling that you were serving some agenda of your own here. What are we to you? What is this Hamlet in the... What is its place in your schemes?
It's a means to an end.
Jaxis scoffs at that. A means to an end. You think lightly, Belabros. It is the end. All I wish, all I have worked for the last year, all I want to do is to help the Hamlet succeed. I want to see it rise and become the greatest place on this world. That's that
What
simple.
would it look like if you were in charge?
If I was in charge. I've had dreams since I was a child of a golden metropolis. A paradise. That has always been my goal. I wanted to
What
make
would be the-
this place that paradise, but now it seems perhaps that was an error in judgment.
And what is the place of humans in this paradise?
In place of anything else. Do you think I would shackle them, turn them into slaves or something? No. That is inane. It is foolish. You do not make people better by putting them in chains, Arden. You make them better by teaching them, by showing them a way forward. That is all I intend to do. To make this place better with every ounce of my being.
I want to trust you, Jaxis.
You can.
Cannot... After what I've heard you say, after what I'm seeing of your heart here, I find
It is all
myself looking
true.
for the
You know
I find
this.
myself looking for the trick in every word you say. I can't trust you anymore, Jaxis. And Arden looks genuinely stricken at this.
Arden. I truly do not intend you or the Hamlet any harm. The exact opposite. He looks to Heidi. I thought you understood this. I thought all of you understood this.
I understood it before, Jaxis. I did. You and I, once I became mayor, I watched you storm out of the meeting as you renounced where you were. And I came to you saying that Marv had stepped down and I was now mayor. And both of us, she looks out to the crowd, both of us were elated that this happened, that you would be working behind the scenes with being more of a figurehead. And before, I was content with this, as I just wanted to be comfortable. I just wanted to have nice things and such. I admit that. I've even spoken with Balaberos about this, that I, after living here, after being your mayor in this city, reflecting on all that I'd done, or at least encouraged, both from Jaxis and I could no longer have this, that it was wrong and that I was scared of what you were going to be doing, the whispers that you had out there, the contacts. And that's why I went to live with Balaberos and not in the tavern anymore, because I know that this place and that, and she points to the skull up top, hanging low for everyone to see, that there, you've taken this place over as almost a temple to your patron. This is no longer just a tavern, but a place of worship for your... It's not a god. It's something else.
And by no means is she malefic.
Nay, she's not, but aren't you?
By no means. I have just said, under the effects of this spell, all of the truths I could. What more would you wish me to say? I will continue to do everything in my power to help the Hamlet if I can.
And Cooper steps forward first. He says, in an ideal world, Jaxis, what would the Hamlet look like?
Mine. Peaceful. And there's a bit of joy on Jaxis' face as he begins to talk about this. Quite peaceful.
A field of the dead is peaceful, Jaxis. Be more specific.
Well, I had dreams when I was a child. I told you this much, since I was a child. Whispers from my patron of the things that could be accomplished, or could hope to be accomplished. A paradise, where we can all act and do as we please, without worry for harm, without worry of such insidious maneuvers. A place where we can peacefully call home without threat of orcs, or lizard men, or these strange tentacled creatures from the north. A bastion. That is what I seek, Cooper. A place where we can enjoy ourselves and do as we please without any worry.
As so often is the case, the crowd, the masses, the shifting to and fro of the crowd is what determines the outcome of these things. Of course, the brave, the heroic, the politically active can sway things one way or the other. Erdrick of Hellspear sees the logic in Jaxis' actions. Teric is a tough man. Why would he perish from a spout of acid if Jaxis thought that the greater good would be to strike down two foes with once? And Targus Dragonfriend is of the same mind. After all, his last name, Targus Dragonfriend. What about the rest of you? Teric von Iger. I'm guessing I'm putting you on Team
I
Heidi.
mean, I think...
Jax's got a point, man.
I mean, Jaxis does have a point. I am one tough son of a bitch.
Valves?
I think that we don't send him out, but we keep him in the village, because kicking him out just means someone else is going to get him.
So you're Team Jaxis?
No. God damn it. All right.
Oh my god.
Let me voice this here.
This is good.
Beloveros will stand up. No, skies above and soils below. This is just a fucking complicated mess. Executing him is not good because he didn't... he was Teric, or he was Jaxis, not Teric. He just did what Jaxis does. But if we kick him out and send him away, that means that someone else is going to get him, and he's going to work to fulfill his ideals somewhere else. And that could be the snake folk over at Snarky's Fork. That could be the tentacle thing up north. That could be any number of fucking creatures that we have to fight. So if we keep him here, he has an ideal for the village. But don't send him out anymore, especially if he's going to be a slippery, traitorous bastard.
This seems quite reasonable.
Heidi looking in a bit of bewilderment to Balabaros.
You gonna abstain?
I mean, I voiced my thing. That's my vote.
Sounds
That's
like
Team Jaxis.
Sounds like Team Jaxis.
You gotta pick a team. There's no...
Team, is that a Team Heidi or Team Jaxis? You sound like you're Team Jaxis.
Is Heidi wanting to execute?
Yes.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not gonna... Nope. Sorry, I have to be Jaxis on this one.
Arden Riverwood.
Arden's Team Heidi, but would want to argue for a lesser sentence.
Yeah, Jaxis.
Yeah.
By that logic, Balabaros is Team Heidi and wants to argue
Yeah,
for
that's true. That is true.
It's true. Yeah, I feel like it's a
Then
third category.
Guilty or not guilty?
I think that
Yeah,
I think
say
guilty or
guilty.
not guilty. So
Yeah.
what do
Team
you,
Jaxis is not guilty. Team Heidi is guilty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jaxis would kind of respond after Balaberos' thing. Balaberos has a fine enough point. I'm no fool. My trust has been tested here. Your trust of me, that is. If you wish it, then yes, keep me around. I will slave away as I have for the last year. I don't care what work I do. I just want to help this place. It is a simple, foolish dream. I care not for coin. Look at my squalor. I could care less. I'd live in a cave quite happily. The scales are actually quite pleased with such a damp interior even. Honestly, put me to work. If you don't want me to go out with Teric for fear of murder, then keep me here and use me to help the Hamlet. It is that simple.
Arden sighs. He said, your words always sound so reasonable, Jaxis.
Because they are,
And-
Arden.
And yet, time and time again, we find that you bring dissent and there are questionable actions that follow you everywhere and questions over your motives. Your words are reasonable, yet somehow I now see an evasion in everything you say. I cannot trust you, and you bring a darkness to this place that I would see gone. I'm sorry, Jaxis. I'm truly sorry that it has come to this.
Truly,
But you are a bad influence on this place.
mine.
Oh.
I didn't think it would come to this, Arden. I view you as a
Neither
brother.
did I. And so it could have been, Jaxis. So it could have been.
So it could yet be, Arden. There's no point in this, my death. It serves nothing. You lose.
Do not seek your death.
If
Do
it
not
is
seek
my-
your death, but you cannot remain.
Fine then. Exile me if you wish. A shame.
Balbs, so are you under the guilty or innocent then? I mean, you can still be under the guilty and argue with Heidi for lesser sentence.
Yeah, I would be guilty, argue for lesser, because
Oh, there you go.
he left people. Like, you don't do that in
Mhm.
Bell's book.
All right, so the way this is going to do is Heidi and Jaxis will both give persuasion checks. And Team Heidi is going to be shifting. So Team Heidi gets a +3, Team Jaxis gets a +2. And the more people you get on your side, it will start to shift. I'm not letting you guys have your ults kind of in the game. They're just
Oh,
kind of
I was going to say Melik would vote for Team Heidi, actually.
Yeah.
Jaxis is
What
sketchy
about
motherfucker.
Cooper? What about Bozerg and Creek?
Nope, they're the ones you got to persuade.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's 4 of them, which works.
I had one for
Okay, all right.
Ellen. I was going to ask who'd pay him more.
Alexa, stop. Sorry.
Heidi looks over and she's like, hello?
All right. Let's see what side Cooper's going to fall on. Heidi and Jaxis make persuasion.
Just straight persuasion, yeah.
So I have a plus, is it 3 or is it +6?
From what?
It's 1 each for the tokens.
Okay. So you have a +2 there, Jaxis, and I have a +3.
Just roll it and then we can add it on. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have advantage on persuasion.
Do you? Because is that the
Uh-huh.
feat or a separate ability?
That's a feat.
Okay. And that is, what is that one?
Or my feat that I have?
Yeah.
Actor.
Yeah, which I can pull it up, but I'm quite confident it doesn't give advantage at all. Yeah, it specifically, you have advantage on charisma deception and charisma performance checks when trying to pass yourself off as a different person.
True.
That's
Oh, yeah.
I still have an 11. Let's go.
Yeah. You have much more. And this is plus what, 2?
Yeah, you get
Plus
+2
2.
and I got +3. So 26 for Heidi. The Heidi kind of looks
what's
out
your
to
cap?
the others. My cap?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, she's a bard.
It's 31 base. Heidi's very convincing. She kind of looks out to the others and says, look, I understand what it seems like is that Jaxis, of course, did what he thought was best in the circumstances.
It's
As
quite
you hear from
true.
Arden, who possesses the same powers as Jaxis, did not use the Eldritch Blast he usually uses, and I've been to enough battles with Jaxis to know that he does this quite often, and I've almost never seen this acidic spray. Only once in this tavern here to literally melt down people who were unarmed
You mean
in
the
this
cultists that tried to kill
tavern.
everyone in the town?
Who were unarmed.
I've heard enough of you, Jaxis Dragon Tongue. I'm throwing my support behind the mayor.
Fine. Very well.
So-
It seems the truth doesn't matter after all, Heidi.
I'm literally telling the truth. You said it did.
Yes. And I have been as well.
Narratively, Bozerg's still on the fence in the back. He's fought with both of you. All right, rolled again, although Heidi gets a +4 and Jaxis gets a +2.
Oh, it snowballs.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
snowballs.
it snowballs.
Ooh, but Jaxis gets this one.
Damn.
Yeah, Jaxis looks to Bozerg. Bozerg, you've been around for quite a while. You've seen me use my breath before. More than just in those circumstances. You know for a fact that it is something used when I run out of spells as I had. It is a tool to be used, as is everything else under my arsenal. I simply did what I thought was best for the Hamlet. Oh, we good?
Mhm.
Okay.
Very good. I might disagree with your ways at time to time, Jaxis. But I throw my support with Udrig and with Targus over here. Alrighty then, Ezra. Listen, you're not a bad lass, but your eyes might have deceived you in the din of battle. Have some mercy on Jaxis and give him the benefit of the doubt in this instance. It's tied up. 2 more to go.
All
Yeah,
right.
Jaxis
One-
looks
1 to
like,
1.
Yeah, Jaxis looks to the crowd. Indeed, Bozerg makes a good point. It is not as though either of us has acted against the Hamlet before now, either. You all know this to be true.
Montague is in the back. He drinks wine while everybody else is having an ale. I so much see the reason on both of your sides, yet my mind still is up in the clouds, unmade. Perhaps one last argument will convince me one way or the other.
Well, Jaxis looks to Heidi.
4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying we're rolling, and then we'll see
Yeah,
who
fair.
has that.
Oh my
God, no!
Heidi gets a +4.
I get
Jaxis gets a +3.
Yeah.
Jaxis
We
wins.
got it.
Yeah, Jaxis looks to Montague. I don't believe we've had a great deal of time together, Montague. But I think anyone here could say, without a reasonable doubt, that I have no ill will for this place. For any of you, for that matter.
Except Teric, but all right.
Well, I suppose in a sense. But again, my facts stand. The truth is plain as day. It is bound by magic, and you know me not to lie.
You know me not to lie is a lie.
Yeah, you fucking liar.
I guess,
Still in the
technically.
circle, still in the circle of
Yeah.
truth.
Hey, you're still the circle of the truth.
Someone may
Marvin
claim
Tingle.
that the truth of the matter is sometimes a matter of power. From where I come from, there was a saying from the kings and the counts that might makes right. Jaxis, you have a solid vision for the future of the Hamlet and Heidi, although you are a skilled statesperson. Sometimes a heavy hand and shrewd maneuvering is needed. Jaxis, I shall not see you cast out of the Hamlet. All right, your bonuses are even now.
Yeah, Jaxis gives a faint bow. My thanks, Stilion.
Now this guy with intelligence 6,
Oh no!
he's the
The guy with 6 int is the tiebreaker.
well, it's just like real life.
I know.
Yeah. This is the end.
You're fucking right. Oh, this hurts.
Now, if it was real
Tell me.
life, there'd be 10 people with 6
God, this is
Wait,
like real life,
can
isn't
you
it? This is
Go
like
over it again.
I'm getting deja vu right here.
No, I mean it's not the tiebreaker. This is just to tie it up because
Oh, yeah.
we had 4 of like the NPC crowd to go.
Mhm.
So if Jaxis wins this one, like the crowd will overwhelmingly be on the side of Jaxis. If there's a
Yeah.
tie, what I've decided, I hadn't thrown Marv in.
Yeah,
but
that's what I figured.
I'm going to throw him in at the very end because if so many people are saying at least, Jaxis has some good points, which he does. He did make some good points. And in the den of the battle, what is the reasonable doubt? Eyewitness accounts are often speculative at
Oh
best.
yeah, that's for sure.
And emotionally charged things, you just saw what you thought somebody killed. So let's see what you do with Creek.
Yeah, throw it and see who gets those.
Uh-huh. Oh no, I think it's her. Oh, it's just barely.
Yes.
By the frog of a hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just slightly on her
Heidi.
side, yeah.
Yeah,
Hi.
she looks to
Hi.
Creek.
Oh, you've always been a pretty lady, and I like pretty ladies.
It's not just about beauty at all, but in terms of the Hamlet, yes, Jaxis, you'll do whatever you can. And even you said that getting rid of Teric might be, you think, the best for the Hamlet. So maybe, yes, Jaxis thinks that having Teric gone will be the best for the Hamlet. As you can tell and as you have all heard, Jaxis will do anything to make this place in his ideal vision. Let me specify his ideal vision. He has not asked for any of us for the input of his own ideal thing. He wants to make it what he wants. Not what we want, but what he wants.
This one's for all the marbles, boys and girls.
The Marvels?
All the marbles.
The Marvels!
Oh,
This is Civil War.
Team Heidi's bonus is now +5, and Team Jaxis is +4.
alrighty.
Can
Yeah,
you overcome all odds with your silver tongue?
I don't know.
She's been
I
rolling
don't know
low,
either.
so
I'm checking to see if I have anything, but I don't think so. Nope.
Yes! So Heidi looks very plainly to Marv. Look, you've been here since the beginning. You are one of the founders of the Hamlet. You know what it stands for. Sure, we can do whatever we can to make it good. We can lie and cheat, connive, and whatnot. We can make deals with the mayor to try and have everything laid out to its idealized form. But that's not what this place stands for. I don't think that's what you made this place to be. If we keep Jaxis here, then, well, we're saying that we'd do anything to make the Hamlet what it is, and we're no better than anyone else. But if Jaxis leaves, well, he might go somewhere else. He might go to the UNT. He might go to our enemies, tell them our secrets and such. We can't stand for this. We can't do anything to make the Hamlet what it should be. We have to take a stand right now and figure out exactly what's right and what's wrong. And what Jaxis did and what he plans to do, I feel, is wrong.
In this instance, Heidi, you and me are of one mind. I'm sad to say, Jaxis, but if you do say you are guilty, that's saying you're guilty of more or less murder. So,
Well, it's simply
I throw my
untrue.
lot into. Well, it seems in this instance that the Hamlet has spoken, Jaxis. And at that point, the hands kind of go up, and by a majority, but not a super majority, the will of the crowd seems to be that Jaxis is guilty, whether to throw him in jail, whether to exile him, or kill him on the spot is still up for grabs.
Yeah, Jaxis
But-
looks around, kind of addressing the crowd, a scowl forming on his face.
So this is it, then.
I should not have expected any better. To dedicate everything I have, only for it to be spit on.
Jaxis. Heidi turns to Jaxis and clutches her hands together. I truly did want to be your friend, and that's what I had been. But watching you strike down Teric and knowing what Teric means for not just this city, for me as well, it broke my heart, Jaxis. And I never could have believed that you could have done that.
Well, for what it matters, by no means was that my intent.
And
I saw
Are you
enough.
telling me none of us triggered the zone of truth?
no, he did not intend Heidi to be like this over this. He didn't intend for any of this to happen. It's true. He's not once lied.
So earlier when they asked, did you intend to kill me? And you said no. That didn't trigger anything.
He did not intend. Well, listen to what he said.
If I looked at the video of the last session, he said, "Now is my chance."
Oh yeah. But did he intend to kill him with the acid? No. He used something else that no one knows about to do
It was
that.
specific. Did you intend to kill him?
Yeah, but did Jaxis say, yes, I intended to kill him, or anything of the sort? No, he didn't even say, no, I didn't intend to kill him. He said, if you go back to it, I did not intend to kill him with the acid. And that is true.
You guys just have to deal with a person that's a weasel.
Exactly. Because he did intend to kill him when he used his telepathy to make the other guy attack Teric.
Yeah.
Decide what to do with this.
He was
bastard.
happy if Teric died as a result. But
Heidi.
There are people like this in your lives, and you need to cut them out.
it's true. Do it. Please, anyone at home, do it.
Yeah. And we have magic circle up, which means we can't leave, can we?
No, we can't. We can't. No.
I don't think it works on you guys. You guys aren't fiends or fae.
Is it only fiends or fae?
It says,
No, I think
elemental, celestials, fae, fiends, or undead.
Oh.
You know,
Maybe
I
I'd qualify as
kind
an
of
undead.
borderline.
Oh yeah, Jaxis is kind of borderline. Although I guess if anything, he's closer to aberration. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, I guess technically not.
Moral aberration.
But I mean, regardless, yeah.
And Heidi looks to Jaxis and says, honestly, sorry. I can't stand for this anymore. And she looks out to the others and looks to Teric. Personally, I feel that Teric should decide this because it was his life that was taken. But I understand that we are a town. We're a populace. Can't just be up to one person to kill another.
I would not for one moment doubt Teric's virtue or his courage, but his mercy, I don't know. Such a righteous man, he has trouble with the sins of others.
It's almost as
I'm
if he
sorry,
seeks
Teric.
to turn our entire militia into zealots.
Please, Jaxis, enough. Enough. Arden just sits down and he looks stricken at the whole thing. Basically, he's for a while been seeing Jaxis as more of a schemer than he realised, and now with some of the things that Jaxis has just admitted to, he's now seeing him as a much darker schemer than he ever thought, and he doesn't know how Jaxis has done it, but he's convinced he's found some way, magical or through thinking round the problem and worming his way round the conditions of the spell, he's convinced that Jaxis has found some way round the spell.
He's just a slimy
Just
bastard.
doesn't know how. Yeah, just doesn't know how. But yeah,
Heidi looks to...
It's like Alan Dershowitz in the Epstein cases.
It's so fucked up that he's getting this far away with it. I can't believe it.
Well, yeah, she looks out to the crowd and she says, well, this is the last time. If we let him go, he'll go to others. And he knows many secrets about this place, making him one of the largest dangers we ever fought. We cannot let him go. And if we put him away, he'll find a way out. He always does.
So you would murder me because I'm a threat. Shall we start
Execute
crusading
me.
against the other countries then? The Empire itself? Or what remains?
Heck, please come forward.
Mayor Heidi, please. I cannot fault your logic here, but I ask you to have a little more mercy. I do believe that in his way, his dark, twisted way, Jaxis did mean well for this place. I don't know what his vision of this town would be, and I don't wish to find out, but death seems harsh. But it is your judgment.
What is the crowd saying? Are they saying anything?
Give me a persuasion check.
Both of us again, or?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see if I do better this time. Nope. It's fallen away from him, poor boy.
Yeah, it's fallen for grace. With the victory of the guilty, I think the thought process is, okay, the guilt or not guilt is, did you kill Teric on purpose or not? And now, if the verdict is yes, which it is, then you cannot have a person around.
Well, I
like
mean,
that in the
2 out of
Hamlet.
the 5, aside from Teric, were specifically on that side to argue against his death or exile.
And they did, but Arden said it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll let them do it. I'll let them argue it in character, but I'm talking about what the crowd's wanting.
Well, that's what I'm saying is we're looking at, say, 50%, well, like 40% with Jaxis,
Remember that
right?
roll, the crowd wants death.
The
I
crowd
have
wants
spoken.
death.
I have spoken.
If Balaberos wants to advocate for something, you can go ahead.
No, if Teric's going up to be the executioner, Balaberos is going to walk out.
Yeah, Arden will too. He won't argue with the verdict, but he doesn't particularly want to watch it.
Jaxis would call out to both of them as they walk to leave. Oh no! Don't you go charging away so you don't have to look at the choice you've made, Balaberos, Arden. You have
Well, what
made
choice is
this
that?
choice.
I didn't make any choice. I advocated for you to be kept here. The rest of them don't want you alive. That's not on me.
Well.
I don't want to watch judgment be passed on something I don't agree with.
And yet you still chose their side, resulting in my death. Your consequences.
Right. And to quote you, my words, were specifically that I wanted you to be kept here. I don't want you dead. I know you're a slimy bastard, Jaxis. You always have been.
Yes,
From the
indeed.
first day I've talked to you, I knew you were a slimy bastard. There's no way that I would want you dead, though, and I don't want you gone. But they're not listening to me. They're not listening to Arden. They want blood. They want your blood. And I ain't going to watch it.
My,
Arden turns back and says, "Very well. A man should stand by the consequences of his actions. Like Balaberas, I did not wish your execution. I would have called for exile. But I voted guilty, and I believe you to be guilty. Mine was not the voice that decided your punishment, but I was one of the voices that rendered the guilty verdict. I will stay here and watch. Though what twisted pleasure it gives you, I cannot imagine. I will stay here and see you die, Jaxis."
I see. Truly, then, this is how it is. You know, my father used to tell me horror stories of humans as I grew up. He told me how they were not to be trusted. About how they were cold-blooded killers that had no love for any cause aside from their own. Well, it seems all of the horror stories were right. The monsters were right along me the whole time.
Wish to believe this in your final words. You may, Jaxis. But that's not what we believe. Not what I believe.
Well then.
Teric, if you'd like.
Teric will approach, and he'll face away from the crowd, and he'll look at Jaxis, and he'll remove his helmet to look him eye to eyes. And if you have a god, you should pray.
Very well. And Jaxis, you see, he doesn't make a break or anything. He simply starts taking a step over to one of the tables, and he takes a step up onto it. And I mean, if Teric lets him, I kind of.
Is it slowly and cautiously?
Yeah. He doesn't give a shit. He's just walking over. He walks over, and you see him kind of shoo a few people away, that rather timidly get out of the way. And he steps up onto the table and reaches a hand up to the skull that hangs down, watching over this all. My, how the mighty fall, yes? First Teric, now Jaxis. He kind of turns halfway to address the crowd. I wonder who will be next. He looks back up to the skull. It seems my dreams are not to come to pass. It seems all of my effort over the last year is in vain. It seems, he looks back to the crowd, that humans are just the same monster that murdered my father, killed my family, killed our people. I was a fool to try and think of making a place of peace, one where I would be welcomed, one where others like me would be welcomed. And he looks back up to the skull. Oh, my lady, Gowlothmorn, Void Mother, it seems my story may well end here. My lady, I am sorry. I did my utmost to save this place, but it seems when the end comes, dragon fire will reign over it all, as predicted in the stories, as you have whispered to me since so long ago. It seems there was no stopping it. By my will, my lady, take my soul, take all you would. Take every last ounce of myself, my power, my will. And if it is the last thing that is done, with my last breath, Hamlet, I curse thee. May the goddess Gowlothmorn forever taint your soils. May it forever muddy your streams, and may your babes forever lie cursed.
in
All
their
right.
graves.
So mid-sentence towards the end of that, Teric will take Jax's neck between his hands. A holy light will emit that grant some divine strength. And he'll whisper, "The trial was merely a formality." Try to snap his
Jaxis will
neck.
cast Thunderstep.
We gotta do initiative then, because Heidi's ready for shit.
While in the grasp,
I mean, yeah, it literally lets you break out of chains if you want to.
while I'm choking your neck,
It's literally
you can
vocal
do a
only.
verbal spell?
Yeah, it depends on the initiative, so roll it.
I mean, Jaxis isn't gonna let you just choke him out.
Oh no, it's a neck snap, my man.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Heidi's on point.
I'm a roll a 1. I rolled ones every time.
Do it.
No,
please.
oh my god! I have higher decks though. Oh my god. That's funny.
Do we all get to roll?
Oh, that
Yeah.
matters, right? We already got this.
Oh, yeah.
Old person again.
And off he beats it.
Whole person, the only thing is... Oh.
I think I
It's
just
a
have to make a
save,
save, don't I? It
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
save, but the thing is, it doesn't, like...
doesn't require casting, I don't think.
No, I have to do it. The thing is, it doesn't, like, mute somebody, but I can paralyze you. So I feel like I can
Yeah.
paralyze your face.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
paralysis doesn't stop you from talking, though. Or taking actions, does it?
I don't think whole person does stop you talking, actually. No.
Does it? Oh, we were doing that earlier, yeah.
Oh, she allowed you to speak earlier.
I have no idea.
But Labros might be the saving grace again. This high Nick.
Yeah. As he's walking out. I mean, he left, though, didn't he? Like, proper left? Because Arden refused to, but Belabros
like you
left
can-
before Jaxis did that.
I'm outside, but my speed is 45.
Yeah, you're...
Nice.
How do you know?
Nice.
This is true.
A paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right, make
Mhm.
that... I don't know if Valbaros is heading back in or if you allow him, but otherwise, hold person.
Wisdom save. Oh my god, he made it.
Holy shit. Yeah, she tries to basically grab onto him with her magic, but unfortunately she's just not... It's not holding this time. He knows. He can sense it.
Is Belabros charging in? I mean, there wasn't necessarily any lead up to this.
If there's a call out, I'll be in there, but otherwise...
I mean, Heidi would probably say something like, fuck!
But that's still after Belabros.
True.
It's true. I'll leave it up to you guys. Like I said, I don't want the PvP to become a game.
I really don't mind either way, to be honest.
All right, I can reveal it. I don't think it matters even if he gets out this tavern.
No,
right?
it doesn't.
I've messaged Bo already. I have all of my men outside.
Oh, yeah.
And if you show up without me, they're ordered to shoot you down.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's
That's not what he's about to do.
perfect. Seriously. Well, you're sitting Thunderstep.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say where I was thunderstepping to.
That far.
It's probably going down.
Yeah.
It'd be good for RP wise. You Thunderstep outside, and there's a whole bunch of guards out there.
that would be a
Literally
terrible idea.
everywhere.
Where would he go?
Yeah, he's got his bolt hole downstairs. He'll thunder step down there and then sneak out his secret tunnel.
But yeah, so Jaxis will, Yeah, Jaxis, you see him actually, thunderstep upwards, up atop of the skull. Now it does deal like, how much? I'll just click it.
It's 3d10. You're gonna kill some people in here, that's for sure.
Maybe Teric. I mean, yeah.
Maybe Teric?
Holy.
Oh, wait, not Teric. Yeah, I mean, it'll hit Teric, probably, but, not
Yeah,
kidding.
you can max roll that shit. I'll be fine.
Yeah, so,
narratively,
oh,
some
wait,
of the
yeah,
commoners probably are
actually,
just like disintegrated from the hips down.
yeah, Jaxis, this burst of thunder echoes out from him into the room around. As you see, he is now standing atop the skull as it swings from the chains.
As I said, how the mighty fall. And you see him reach his hand up, forward. With my blood, Gaulothmorn, may this curse be sealed. By whatever means you wish. By whatever purpose you find for me in your realm, or anywhere else, I shall serve you until the end of all time. May this place be cursed forever. As he's going to tear out his own throat.
Show me how that looks and how everybody reacts.
Teric,
Dragon
Teric.
blood splatters down from on high.
Yeah, Jaxis, his claws are sharp as hell. They can penetrate even his own armored scales. As he drags the claws, raking from the very back of his neck all the way around, and he grins. As blood sprays forward and acid bubbles out from the hole in his neck that now bleeds. As he begins to crumple down into an almost seated position atop the skull, the blood running down the bones. The runes that he's placed in it for many months begin to glow this deep, dark purple, as the chains so too.
And of course, when this happens, even just the thunder, Heidi being hit by the brunt of it, seeing that many of her people have just been completely obliterated by this, and looking on in horror as Jaxis curses the town, tearing at his own throat. And Heidi was just holding on anyway. She did truly care about Jaxis, but unfortunately her care for Teric and what he represented was more. Heidi just kind of falls to her knees and starts to wail in the tavern.
Arden's first thought in all this is the people of the town. He's very concerned to see Heidi like that, but he realizes there are a lot of people here. He turns to the crowd and says, "Now you have seen the measure of the man. It is sad that he was able to complete his evil deed, his evil scheme here. His venom cursing us with his last breath. But we will find a way to end this curse. We have kept you safe thus far, and we will find a way to deal with this. You can see from the runes here on this thing that Jaxis has been imbuing it with magic for some time. He has been plotting all this time. It is best he has gone from among us, though I would not have had it like this."
And outside from the tavern windows, streaks of lightning. It's not even bright white, it's red lightning. Just whoosh, careens down from the heavens in jagged lines, striking the ground. The skull upon which Jaxis' now corpse slumps and then falls to the ground with the splats. Its eyes seem to glow briefly and then go dead.
Arden turns to Blabros and says, "Take care of Heidi." And then he turns to Teric and says, "We should get this accursed thing out of here." Looking at the skull and Jaxis' body. It's not quite clear which of the two he's talking about, but...
Teric, after putting his helmet back on, will grab his warhammer and try to crack the skull.
It smashes. As soon as you hit it, just shatters like a piñata of bone fragments. The bone fragments are just yellow and white. They clatter onto the floor. As this thing is hollow and empty now, its magic is expended.
Love, are you okay?
Heidi, covered in the blood of some of the people there, just looks up to Balberos and shakes her head. No, I'm not. I think I've made the right decision. I don't know.
As you do that, a few of the bar patrons who are disgusted with this display of brutality, trying to leave, they start to scream, "Ah!" as they kind of look down, and they're like pustules gathered up out their wrists and their ankles, and they feel their face, and just pox and just purulent materials running from sores down their face. Ah! Ah! The pox be upon us! The pox be upon us!
I'll go over the one. Use lay on hands to remove disease.
Yeah, that's just the one. Rest
I
of
can do
them
this
run
all
out.
day.
And unless anybody has anything else, we will end that session, and we will end autumn and move into winter.
Winter is coming. Ooh.
Hey.
Winter's here.
Uh,
Yeah, I think that's it for suffice to say, that's it for Jaxis. Oh my god. Well then.
all right.